Hello and welcome to Finextra. I'm Thea George and I'm here with Andrew Davies of Fiserv. We're at Sibos 2017 in Toronto and we're talking about developments in fraud and compliance. Andrew, thank you for joining me.
Oh, you're welcome. Very happy to be here.
So, huge topic of discussion here at Sibos is transformation in the payments environment. Lots of talk about instant payments, real-time payments. How is all this change in payments impacting compliance?
It's a great question. First thing is this transformation of the payments industry is bringing additional value to the customers of financial institutions. Of course, when you're introducing things like faster payments, that introduces some inherent risk. And certainly what we see is the cadence of financial institutions need to manage that risk, needs to be consistent with the services that they're providing. So as money moves more quickly, then financial institutions need to manage the risk associated with those payments being hijacked or being initiated fraudulently at the same pace as the payments are going through the financial system. So we're providing technology to manage that risk at that speed.
Okay, so obviously banks have invested a huge amount already in compliance and compliance technology, but one of the things I often hear is that they're still having to have kind of armies of people to go through what's coming out of the systems, too many false positives. Is that something you see?
Yeah, so probably the two topics that we see coming really being at the front of mind for financial institutions around this payments transformation are things like how do they manage the customer experience? So how do they monitor these types of events and transactions so they don't introduce a negative customer experience for their customers? And then also how do they do that in a way that they doesn't lead to a proliferation of false positives? Really generating too many alerts that are inhibiting transactions rather than ensuring that they're straight-throughs and managing risk in that straight-through context, and then also making sure that their customers understand that their transactions are secure. The number one reason why people don't adopt innovative payment technologies is because they're concerned about security. So we need to make sure everything's as seamless as possible, but so our customers of the new payment types understand that they're secure but seamless, and then also make sure that we're not just requiring financial institutions to employ thousands of people to manage false positives. And that's really where we are at the vanguard of financial crime technology solutions.
So tell me a bit more about some of these technology solutions and thinking as well about the role of emerging technologies such as AI in this space.
One of the things that we've seen in the industry is rather than just monitoring individual transactions, we're monitoring information associated with those transactions and look at those transactions in the context of customer relationships. So we have more data that we're accumulating about relationships, around transaction flows, around how customers of financial institutions are interacting with those financial institutions. All of that data is then analysed through a number of lenses. Certainly we can analyse that data from a perimeter perspective, how are people interacting with their institutions, and then monitoring the actual transactions themselves from a behavioural perspective. And we're bringing in all of those techniques like advanced analytics, using collective data, looking at deviations in behaviour of individuals, of commercial customers, and then looking at that more broadly in the context of machine learning. So what are the outcomes of previous investigations that we can use to more accurately refine our detection going forward? So we're certainly using industry data, consortium data, and then individual behavioural data to perform hybrid analytics to go back to that earlier point of maintaining the customer experience and reducing false positives.
Andrew, this has been great. Thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And thank you for watching.